Hey, Facebook group, a little early in the morning, so lighting isn't all that great at 6 o'clock a.m. But I want to go over in more detail the answers that I just posted to the questions on yesterday's story on Instagram. So, first question was, if you have somebody come into your clinic, your gym, your facility, they're complaining about knee pain, anterior knee pain with an air squat, or you have them squat while you screen them and they have anterior knee pain, should you consider giving them weight and see what happens? Answer is yes. So if I've got somebody, we just got done working with them, I'm screening them, I have the post-screen done, and they complain of still some anterior knee pain with squatting, I always give them 15 to 30 pounds, depending on who they are, how big they are, and have them do a couple goblet squats. 99.9% of the time, pain goes away. Now, that's a really cool trick, which is only a trick if you don't understand why that happens. So ask yourself, if I have somebody without weight who has knee pain, why do they not have knee pain with weight? What are you doing to their muscles when you make them work harder to resist weight going down and to push weight coming back up? The answer is you're causing more muscle recruitment. So remember, your body is going to be as lazy as it can possibly be at all times. If they are lazy and they're not recruiting enough muscle to stabilize the knee with eccentric and concentric squatting, they will have knee pain. If you force more muscle recruitment through giving them weight, you should decrease the knee pain by increasing knee stability. So this is really true with athletes who are used to squatting weight. So if they're used to doing front squats, back squats, goblet squats, giving them weight actually makes it a heck of a lot easier for them to squat. Their mechanics will get better, their pain will decrease, and now you can progress them further and give them things to go home with. Question number 2, what are you willing to sacrifice when you're, let's say, warming athletes up? Are you willing to sacrifice motion or strength or stability? Which one of those things are the least important? Answer is none. You should never sacrifice any of that stuff because they're all equally important. So the problem is, both in the PT world and the strength and conditioning world and the personal trainer world, we are very willing to sacrifice strength and stability in order to force range of motion that they won't be able to control, which is just mind-blowing to me. So when you force an increase in range of motion by either decreasing muscle spasm with a massage or a foam roller, forcing them into passive range of motion with stretching, decreasing muscle spasm or stiffness with a thera gun, you are causing neuromuscular inhibition, which will increase range of motion by decreasing the muscle's ability to contract and stabilize and move the joint appropriately. So you've just made them worse. So you should not ever sacrifice strength for mobility or range of motion or flexibility. And when you sacrifice strength, you automatically sacrifice stability. Number 3 question was, what plane of motion is responsible for causing injury? So insufficiency or inability to stabilize and move correctly in the transverse plane is what causes injury. So if you look at an anatomical chart and you look at all those muscles, how many of those muscles have some type of angled pennation or angled from origin to insertion, they're running on an angle? Almost all of them. Rectus fem, long head of bicep, maybe straight up and down. Everybody else, hamstrings this way, glutes this way, hip rotators this way, lat this way, delts this way. So all of those muscles are meant to move with a transverse plane component in an aplanar motion. So you do not ever move in the cardinal planes individually while you function. And if you cannot, or your athletes cannot, or your patients cannot stabilize in the transverse plane, they will pull hamstrings, they will tear ACLs, they will sprain ankles, they will tear rotator cuffs, they will have low back pain, they will have cervicogenic headaches because of transverse plane insufficiency with strength and stability. Now, the question is, how do you, number one, assess those muscles to see what they're doing? And number two, how do you treat the muscles when they have insufficiency? Leading to number three, programming exercise so they can stabilize long-term in the transverse plane. And the last question, if you've watched our videos on foam rolling, theragun, and stretching, you already know that all of those things are detrimental, and you know that it's pretty severe, the amount of decrease in neuromuscular function. So just to run through it real quick, foam rolling the IT band 10 times. You can go back and watch the video. Decreased force output in a healthy high school athlete who's now a college athlete. Foam rolling IT band, decreased gluteus medius strength by 37%. That was 10 times foam rolling, just the IT band. So how often do your patients, your athletes, foam roll IT band, quads, calves, hamstrings? Take away 37% of all of those muscles' ability to function, and what do you think is going to happen? Theragun, healthy strength athlete, 6'3", 330 pounds, can squat the house. Theragun his quads for 30 seconds. He lost 40% of his force output just for quads. Again, imagine that you're theragunning multiple muscles, especially lower extremity. And stretching the hamstrings for 10 seconds, 10-second stretch. How often do your athletes, clients, or patients stretch for 20 seconds, 30 seconds, and again, multiple muscles? So decrease it in force output of the hamstrings by about 30% after a 10-second stretch. Why in the world would you have your athletes, clients, and patients do those things? And if you know it's bad, why are you allowing them to do those things when they leave your care? You should be educating them and telling them you should never do foam rolling, theragun, massage, stretching. Also, never K-tape, never orthotics. All that garbage, you should be educating them and telling them this is why you shouldn't do those things. That's what makes you an expert. That's what will put you over the top and take you out of the conventional personal trainer, strength coach, PT, chiropractor, massage therapist garbage and get you more business because you're getting more results because you're using science to your advantage instead of rehashing and pushing false narratives and nocebos that the conventional model is built on. If you want to know how to do all of those things, you need to either join the shift, join the MentorShift, or if you're a personal trainer or a strength coach, you need to pay attention for our product release coming soon so you can implement those things with active, dynamic warm-up, cool-down, and be able to screen your patients and be able to understand what happens in that screen and how that influences how you should be programming your exercise for those athletes. Stay tuned.